We'll go ahead and get kicked off now. We're at 3 o'clock Central Time. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Jay Ganinin. I am the co-founder and president of WrenchWay, and I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Val Klein. I'm a marketing specialist here at WrenchWay.
And for those of you that have TikTok, which if we're talking to a lot of instructors, I'm guessing we probably don't have a lot of TikTok folks out there, but if your students have TikTok, make sure they go check out WrenchWay. Val is kind of our champion of TikTok and that puts a lot of content out there, right, Val?
Yeah, it's been a blast. It's just something we've kind of picked up, and just the response we've gotten on that platform has been amazing. It's really fun interacting with all the technicians and just the industry. It's been fun. It's a cool platform for sure.
And you just spent some time actually at a tech school recording some TikTok videos, correct?
Yep, Kayla and I, we went to Madison College there with their diesel program, and it was just fun. It's fun to get, an inside look at the industry, and it's a lot of cool people, and we kind of walk in there and make them feel a little uncomfortable because we don't make them dance or anything like that. But, it's just kind of different being in front of a camera. But I think by the end of the day, they all loosened up a little bit, and we definitely got some cool videos from it.
That's awesome. It's a great way to promote our industry, and especially to young people, so they know what we've got going on. And really, that's the intent of today, is to really help you grow your programs and make sure that you've got good enrollment in general. Make sure you've got excitement about your programs from both students and industry. I think it's important that you get industry involved with your programs to help grow them. So before we get started, I'm going to point out a couple housekeeping items. If you want to talk with the other attendees or comment on something we're talking about, feel free to use the chat function at the bottom, as Robbie Lindhorst from Southeastern Illinois College in Harrisburg, Illinois did. Thank you, Robbie. If you have a question, there is a Q&A tab below as well. Feel free to ask questions. We are certainly an open book and happy to answer questions as they come about. But other than that, you can sit back, relax, enjoy what we're talking about. Hopefully we're not too boring, right, Val? I think we've got some fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But let's start with who we are at WrenchWay. For those of you that aren't familiar with WrenchWay, we're a tech platform aimed at helping shops find technicians, and we do it in a way that I think helps the industry in general. It helps us grow the industry in a healthier way. And when I say that, we do hold shops accountable to really kind of treating their people better, right? We want them to be a top shop, as we call it. And we do that by providing transparency. We do that by showing different personalities and stories that are in these different shops. And really, we're excited for the shops to be able to get more engaged with schools, and we've got some different ways to do that. But at the end of the day, we're here to help make the industry better as a whole, and just make it a healthier industry. And for us, that really starts at the school level and really getting engagement from tech schools. I know I've gone to a lot of advisory committee meetings over the course of my career. One of the common complaints I always heard from especially tech school instructors was that they were getting sick of everybody calling it graduation time, asking for their best student because they had already had jobs, they were already gone. And then a lot of times the tech school instructor would say, well, where have you been at the last 2 years? When you maybe didn't need somebody desperately. So we want to really help drive and really be the conduit between industry and schools, so that we are holding industry accountable to getting more involved with the schools and doing a better job at helping you grow your programs. And so it's not just all on the schools to do that. But today we're really focused on the school side of this. We're going to talk about a few different things that we've got to offer. Our agenda, I'll just do a quick rundown of our agenda. We're going to talk about top schools. Val's already pulled up a top schools page that she's going to walk you through, show you what it's all about, show you how it can help improve your program. We're going to talk about our shop talk piece of WrenchWay, which is Really the video side on the right hand side here, you can see we've actually got a feed through our WrenchWay website in general, where when you put video out here, it's going to the masses. It's going to the whole WrenchWay network. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll talk about School Connect, how you can ask for ways to help get industry involved into your program. You can ask for a variety of different things that we'll talk about. And then lastly, we'll talk about reverse job postings. One of the things that might be able to help you out in graduation time or at graduation time is to be able to kind of have the students be able to freely find out for themselves who a good place to work for would be. And so we'll talk about all of this stuff. Again, everything we do is free to schools. We put on this type of educational type of content so that we can show you what the platform is. It's still very much on you to be able to go out and use the platform. It's on you to create videos. We can help you in a bunch of different regards, but you have to take some initiative to be able to grow your programs and really make them really, really strong programs. So let's start off with top schools. And Val, you're going to do a little walkthrough with top schools today. Can you tell us a little bit about what top schools is and how it could benefit a program?
Yeah, for sure. So Top Schools, it's essentially a recruiting tool and it's free. Like Jay mentioned, everything we're going to talk about is free today, but it's a free tool for you guys to recruit more students to your program. And basically it's everything a student wants to know about your program all on one page. And it's kind of cool. It gives you guys a chance to really brag about your program specifically. And I'll kind of go through some of the sections here. I don't want to dive in too deep, but of course on the Top Schools page, there's the logo. You got your link to your website, links to share this out. This little section here is a link where you can put for students to apply. The get in touch is for students who maybe aren't ready to apply for your school just yet, but maybe they have a couple questions, so they can submit those here and you'll get a notification on the back end. Of course, there's an about us section too, but really when you get good into the meats and potatoes of the page, I think it gets down to the photos and the under the hood section here. So these photos are a great way to really show a student the types of projects they'll be working on. And you can include a description too. Some of these students, they have a lot of schools to choose from, and sometimes the facility is that make or break for them. So giving them a chance to really show them what you got up front is great. The under the hood section too is pretty unique in that it really gives the student anything they want to know about your class. From, things like the cost and everything like that, but down to the nitty gritty, like, how much one-on-one time do they get with an instructor? Are they required to bring tools with them to the first day of class? Things like that. Also, there's a faculty tab where you yourself can kind of show off, what you look like and your instructors and your background and really show the students, who's going to be teaching you and your credentials. The featured employer section, I think this is really cool, and probably Jay can talk a little bit more about this too, but this really lets the students know what connections you have in the industry, right? And Jay, I think we can list most of our top shops here, but do you want to talk a little bit about this too?
Yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity to show off the people that support your program, right? And when I say that, those folks that are involved in your advisory committee, the ones that are involved with you in understanding what your needs are, I think being able to feature your employer shows the parent of that student that might be going into your program that you've got some pretty great affiliations, and that when they send their kid to your school, they're not going to have a problem getting a job once they're out, right? So being able to link your partners in here as a way to show off the effectiveness of your program, I think is a big thing. The other thing I would mention, and one thing that I absolutely love, is the faculty portion of this, and giving some background on not just what the credentials of that instructor are, but maybe some of the things that they like, right? Some of their personal items that you can kind of show them off in a less intimidating way. I think as a high school student coming into a tech school, it can be a really, really intimidating process. And the more you can kind of make them feel comfortable with who you are. So that first day when they walk in the door to an orientation, or they walk in to the class, that they kind of have an idea who you are already. I think it maybe removes some of that intimidation factor, and allows you to show off how talented your crews are, because most tech schools I go to have some really impressive tech instructors that maybe don't get the glory that they should. They don't get the spotlight on them like they should. So I think this helps from a recruiting standpoint for both the student and the parent to understand who that kid or that student, I shouldn't even say kid anymore. There's a lot of people that have been had some life experience prior to going to tech school, but being able to show them who you are, so that the day that they come to class, that they are comfortable with you. And when they are making that decision on whether to come to your program or not, they can do a little bit of research on you and see that you're out there. And I think the next part that you're going to talk about, which is another really cool area for this, is the shop talk section. And what this allows you to do is take that, what we talked about with showing off your personality, and emphasize that even more, right? It can show even more of your personality. One thing, and one reason I really like this page is one, and one, we're really familiar with this program in general, but two, the second video down is called Nuts and Bolts Episode 1, Getting to Know Us. And our friend Tom Wozniak did a phenomenal job with basically talking about all their instructors, what their hobbies were, really what their personalities are. And what you're doing is you're showing off those personalities. You're showing off who those people are in video format. And it allows you to tell stories about projects that you're working on. I think there's so much value in the video aspect of this, and being able to have a place to actually put the videos where people will see them. That can be really, really helpful. And Val, you've seen a lot of these videos. There's some pretty cool videos out there that the schools have done, aren't there?
Yeah, they're just really awesome. Some of them even get their students involved. And one of them I remember was, I forget what school it was, but their students were stationed around different sections of the classroom, and somebody was just following around just with an iPhone, nothing overly produced at all. And then when they got to the certain section, so-and-so would be like, hey, I'm Jeremy, and we're working on this project today, or hey, I'm Scott, and this is our classroom where we come at the beginning. It was just a cool way, and just actually a really probably a good experience for your students too, to kind of get comfortable and get talking like that. So yeah, a lot of the videos are really unique.
Yeah, I think it is fun to see the videos and to see how different the programs are too, right? I think a lot of times it's easy to assume that all tech schools are the same, and every department within a tech school is the same. But we know that culinary departments are going to be far different than what a automotive or diesel or collision program is going to be. And the amount of effort and time that goes into training aids with a automotive or any type of transportation program, it's a lot of money, time, effort, everything. You should be showing those things off and using them as recruiting tools to be able to get people in the door. And I think a lot of schools are really good at that, at maybe a career fair or something along those lines. But maybe for those students that might not be able to come see your program firsthand prior to actually signing up, this was a really good way to just gain that familiarity. And you don't have to overthink this stuff. As Val mentioned earlier, it's nothing that has to be overly produced. If you can get on with your iPhone, take a quick video, post it out to your page, it's just a really, really easy way to create content. And I think content that people really, really enjoy watching. You see it in every other social platform that's out there. That simple, short content can go a long way.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree. And I actually had a cool discussion with an instructor who, on their website, you guys, lots of instructors out there probably have this issue too. On their public school website, there's only a little section about their program mixed in with, like Jay said, the culinary and all those other aspects of the school. And this page really gave him, something to brag about his program. And now when he says he goes to career fairs, he just tells the students to, hey, check out my WrenchWay page, because that's everything they need to know about my program right there. There's the photos, the videos, the deep dive questions. It's just all there.
Yeah, it's a really good way to summarize your program in a way that is impactful and can maybe get people to look at your program in a little different light. So, and I can't underemphasize how important it is for industry to see this stuff too, right? You need industry involvement. You need those people to really be able to understand what you're doing. And if you can do that in more than just an advisory committee meeting where you're actually going out and showing them doing this stuff, and showing what projects you're doing and everything that you're working on, I just can't, I guess, emphasize that enough. You need to be doing that, and growing these relationships is so important to your program. I'm probably preaching to the choir, but it is incredibly important and something you need to be proactive with. This is a really good way to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, all the videos and everything, the page itself, it's all public. Nobody needs a login, or there's no barriers for people to see the details on this page. So it makes it really easy to share. We have these buttons available too for you guys to share this out, share the videos. They work the same way. I think we can actually jump over to Shop Talk. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. This is a really cool part of the platform where this is the public facing part of WrenchWay. So you can see there's a top schools tab and there's a shop talk tab. And if you look on the left-hand side of the kind of the search functionality, you can actually select school zone. And school zone actually helps you, it helps that person that's kind of out there looking be able to just look at schools and be able to see what's going on in their area. Also has a geographic filter so that if somebody doesn't want to see all the schools across the country, they can just pare it down to only look at the local schools. Now, this is both the high school and post-secondary level. And that's one other piece where I think it's important to really appeal to these folks and create content for them, is for those high schools that are out there, so that those high school instructors, you're building relationships with them and being able to create a pipeline of people into your programs by building really good relationships with these high schools. I think we all know how important that is. So being able to, again, create familiarity with those high schools so that when they're sending their students somewhere, they know where they're sending them. It's creating videos around people in your program. Again, really great way to create that familiarity.
Yeah, just this example here on this page too. This is a student who is going to Skills USA, and they need some money and such. And actually, Tracy Hicks, the instructor, he posted this video originally on LinkedIn, and we commented like, "Hey, you should post that on Shop Talk too." And he's gotten a few likes and comments on this video. So, I mean, chances are you have the content and you're already posting it out. So it's just great to get it on Shop Talk, get it on another platform, and just get that message out more and more any way you can.
Yeah, I think video in terms of building your program is something you're going to have to get comfortable with regardless, right? People are seeking out you to learn more about your program. And what better way, other than having them physically there, to actually show off your program than video? I just think I can't talk about that enough, to where you need to be comfortable getting in front of a camera. You're very comfortable as instructors talking in front of a classroom. This is kind of the next iteration of that. Get comfortable being in front of a camera, because that's what's going to really, really help move the needle for your program.
I agree. And yeah, I mean, me myself, I got in front of TikTok and doing all those videos, just got to go for it. And I think it's important to remember, people like genuine content. They don't need you to have some script typed out, hours of time put into all of this. It could just be simple. You hop on, you give a quick tour of the facility, maybe. The classroom area. Maybe you go over to a couple of your students, you say, "Hey, what are you working on?" And maybe they explain what project they're working on. You've got the content there, you've got the people, the students. It would be great content if you could get it out. Coming from a marketing perspective, you got it right in front of you. And I'm so jealous that you have all that good content right out in the shop, because I wish we had that here.
So talk to us a little bit about how hard is this to set up, between the top schools page and the video? What all do you have to do in order to make this stuff happen?
Yeah, so I can hop over here kind of on the back end to give you an inside look. It is super easy. You don't need to know anything about websites or have any experience like that. You just simply click these blue pencils, plop in the information and hit save. Same thing with the videos. You just click to add to upload them. We made it very simple on you guys. If you do have any issues, I'm always available to kind of walk you through it as well. But yeah, we made it very simple on purpose. It does take a little time to, get some of these questions answered, round up the photos, that sort of thing. But a couple hours and you can definitely get this live.
Yeah, and then you've got that nice canvas to work from, right? You've got something
Yes.
to build off of, and really your top schools page will be the foundation of everything else, all the other tools that we're going to talk about today. But getting that top schools page out there shows your program off in a way that gets people excited about being involved with it. And the more you can get comfortable creating content and getting it out there, the more passion you're going to drive behind your program, and hopefully the more growth you'll see in it as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is definitely a very cool tool. Plus, it's free. I mean, coming again from a marketing perspective, why not just try it and get out there and further your reach, get on another platform and put yourself out there. So,
I did get a question from, so we've got, would the profile page be searchable by Google? If you go and you search for WrenchWay, it will. We have that's actually a really good question on the top school side. Top shop side, I do know it is, right? So if you were to Google one of the shops that is on our top shops program, they do show up. I will say top schools is still fairly new, right? We're probably a couple months into this top schools piece since we launched it. So still fairly new. It should definitely be towards the top if somebody were to, in this case, Google Madison College diesel program, that should show up towards the top of the Google search results. So it is searchable through Google, but that's a good question. That one kind of threw me off because I was like, I know on the top shop side it is, but top schools, I want to make sure that that I'm speaking the truth, but there's no difference between the two. So it should show up just fine.
yep.
Great question. All right. So one thing, I guess, as they're going through and filling out their page, what does it take to get approved?
Yep. So when you are filling out your profile, you'll see a little progress bar up here. We don't have one on this page because it's already approved. But you'll have to add things like your logo, the about us, photos, and then mainly the questions under the hood here. These sections have to be filled out. Your video doesn't need, your page in order to get live doesn't need to have video, but we strongly suggest it as we were talking about it. Yep, so you just fill out the sections. You'll see the progress bar up here will hit 100%. You click submit. We will review it on our end and just see if we have any suggestions or anything like that, and then we'll push it live. So real quick.
All right. So we've talked about the top schools page. Let's talk about School Connect. That is one thing, again, going back to those advisory committee meetings that we heard from educators from tech schools, frankly, that maybe they weren't getting enough support from industry. And as we struggle with some budgets, we struggle with maybe some enrollment in some cases. Really, it's having industry understand what it is that you struggle with. And we do that through School Connect. And we wanted a way for schools to be able to go talk to our network of shops and say, hey, you know what, we need a training aid. We need people to volunteer to do shop tours. We need people to do just random things. And you can see we've got the different categories on the left-hand side that talk about the different types of projects or requests that you can put out there. And it's a variety of different things. We've seen some really cool successes from this platform with industry helping out shops. So one that comes to mind right off the bat was we had a school ask for they needed cars for their program to get the certifications they needed. And we had one of our dealers that was on our program step up and donate 2 vehicles to the program. We've had another dealership network that donated 2 big Detroit diesel engines to a high school, which was awesome. I mean, it was really cool to see. But you can see kind of the variety of different types of requests that go out there. We encourage you to go out there and ask for things, right? If you want that support in your program, get out there and ask for the things, because we can kind of stoke the fire amongst our industry network to get them to participate. And you'd be surprised at what comes out of the weeds when you put a request out there. There's people that want to help out. And in a lot of cases, if they're not overly familiar with your program, they've looked for opportunities to help out in the past, but maybe they get busy and they don't think about it, or they aren't they don't maybe know who to contact at the school. And so the more barriers that we put in between you and your program and industry, the less likely it is that they're going to help you out. This allows you to just ask for stuff, and hopefully industry then comes and answers the call. The one thing I will point out here that is vital to schools in building their program through this is respond, right? We'll get industry to respond to requests, and it drives us crazy when somebody will reach out trying to help your program and the instructor doesn't respond back. It really kind of almost hurts you in a sense that, you know, somebody wants to help you out and you're not responding. I am very, very particular about this part, because if somebody's going out of their way to try and help you out, you need to have the decency to return the call. You need to have the decency to return the message. And Val, I'll let you maybe show a little bit of the backside here, or be able to show how a shop would message them once they put a request out there.
Yeah, so to add a request, it's real simple. You just hit this plus up here, and then you'll fill out the information. I'll pull up a request so you can kind of see what one looks like. So here they're requesting a classroom projector. So this is a little about what they need, a little about what their school, and if I was a shop or someone in the industry who would want to help with this request, maybe I don't have this exact projector, but I have something similar, or maybe I want to donate the money, I can send a message right here. And then on the back end, you'll see that as well pop up here in messages.
And one cool part about this is that our platform, we're in a niche, right? But we're in kind of a wide niche where we cover automotive and diesel industry, both the automotive and diesel industry. We also cover dealerships for both sides. We cover independent shops for both sides. We cover fleets for both sides. And it's important because you want to get as many of those shops involved with your program as you can, so that you, again, you're building that program, you're making it a better program. And with our network, we're able to bring kind of a wide variety of shops to you. And I think that's a little bit unique. I know a lot of shops, or a lot of schools I talk to, might struggle with getting the independent shops to be involved, or maybe they're struggling with the dealerships actually doing what they say they're going to do, or, you know, something along those lines. This kind of helps you manage that in maybe a better way than a lot of us do, which is with an Excel spreadsheet, right? Being able to actually go out, ask for things, message freely back and forth, build relationships, so that when you do have some asks, they're willing to come and answer the bell for you.
Yeah, I agree. This is a great tool for you to get out there and connect with the industry. It's also great because the industry can post what they have available as well. So here the shops and dealerships can post, you know, if they want to have a scholarship available. Here they're offering for advisory committees, very cool things they're offering here. So you can see that on the back end as well.
Yeah, and it's not just from the dealership level or independent shop level. There's OEs on this platform as well that see what you're asking for. Some major manufacturers that are wanting to help out, again, looking for opportunities to help your program out. So make sure you get out there. Again, I hate to say this point over and over again, but it's free, and that you can get out there, ask for stuff, and really start some really good conversations with folks in the industry. So a great tool available to all of you at no cost and no obligation of anything, no catch whatsoever. You can just go out, post your project, and hopefully that helps grow the programs around the United States. All right. let's talk about reverse job posts. And this is something that is a really neat tool that is specific to tech schools. I think can be a real help for that conversation that I consistently have with tech school instructors, which is everybody calls me at graduation time looking for my best tech, right? Or looking for my best student. And so what we've done here, and I'll explain it from the veterans technician standpoint first before I go into the student one. But basically, what reverse job posting is like a dating app for a technician. And so when I say that, it doesn't say their name, it doesn't say where they work. It talks about their experience, their education, and what they're looking for in their next employer. And then they put their profile out. They posted it's actually in a mobile app, and we actually have a desktop version coming here soon. But they posted out, and all of the shops that are in our network are notified that there's a technician that is looking for work. And they then message that technician, trying to get them to have a conversation. What's beautiful about that part is that the technician can then go to their Top Shops page, see everything about that shop, make a judgment call for themselves as far as whether they want to interact with that shop or not, right? If they feel like that shop would be a good fit for them, they start a conversation, and when they're comfortable, they can release their contact information. Now, we've also developed a student reverse job posting piece of this where, again, shops are able to freely message back and forth with students, but rather than having it focused on experience and their certifications as much, we talk about the type of person that they are and where they're at with their career. So basically, how it works is that a technician downloads the app. They fill out a brief questionnaire. It takes around 10 minutes. It's really, really easy to do. And we ask them questions that are relevant to what industry wants. That it's what they want to hear. I know a lot of times with a student, they're not really looking for the experience as much. They're not looking for the veteran technician or the same things that they are with a veteran technician. They're looking for somebody that's got a good attitude and that shows up on time and that does those types of things. And so what we do is have them describe other jobs they've had, even if it's not in the industry. Hey, you worked at McDonald's, tell us about that. Being able to learn more about them. We also talk about what they're hoping to learn in the job, right? And really, I think that sets the student up for success in the sense that you almost are able to hold the shop accountable to that a little bit too, right? If you sign up for for a shop to go work there and they've got a great training program and maybe they don't actually have that once you get there, you can say, hey, listen, when we were talking, you said you had a really nice training program and it says it here. But you actually don't. So hopefully we kind of weed out some of those that don't say what they or don't do what they say they will. But we talk about a variety of different things. Anything from do you hold a valid driver's license to how old are you, right? There's a lot of shops that won't employ somebody that's under 18 years old for a variety of different reasons, whatever those reasons are. This will help them understand what age of student that they're working with. But you can get an understanding of, have they had any baseline education on this? Have they completed any of the courses that were in their high school that could have helped with their program? If they're in tech school, where do they fall at in tech school? What programs or what sections have they gone through already and completed, so that it just gives the shop a better idea of who they're dealing with. And then on the other side of that, it gives that student a really, really good idea of what they're signing up for, right? And I think all tech schools have a pretty good idea of who the good employers are, or the instructors do anyways, and maybe some of who isn't great. Our Top Shops pages really do a great job of helping explain that. Now, when they put together the profile, all they do is select their geographic region of what they're looking for, and then every single shop that's in our network is notified. And if I'm a student, what better way to see the breadth of shops that are out there than if I'm going out and submitting this and then having shops essentially apply to talk to me. The student and any reverse job post can actually approve or deny shops to see their profile. So they don't, just because they select a geographic region, they don't have to accept every shop to see their profile. They can look at their top shops pages and say, hey, you know what? I would like to talk to this shop. Great. Or no, I don't want to talk to this shop. I've heard some bad things about them, or I have a friend that works there and I don't want to talk to them, or I don't want to work with them, or maybe I do want to work with them. But then that that allows them to have control over that process and maybe makes it less overwhelming. And I think it really makes it less overwhelming for the tech school instructor as well, because rather than taking all those calls, if you're training your shops to go out to reverse job posting and see the students, uh, you can say, hey, let the student make the decision for themselves. Let them go out there and message back and forth with these shops to see who will seriously treat them well. And so to me, this part of the platform is such a cool piece, to the point that if you can get all of your students on reverse job posting, it helps you out by taking out some of those awkward conversations. You can train your people to really truly have a process behind it. And it's not just you taking phone calls and trying to allocate people to wherever you want them to go. It really is a cool piece to the platform that I think can be really, really impactful to all of you. So I went on my rant there. Is there anything you want to add to reverse job posting, Val?
Just that I've talked to a couple technicians, and even some shops have had successes in finding technicians with it. And it's just a really cool tool. I mean, I feel like it's kind of on the students' turf because they were made anonymous and they're messaging on a platform they feel comfortable with. I mean, our generation too, I mean, just growing up, texting, messaging, we're just more comfortable with. And if they want to, give their phone number and move off the platform, when they're comfortable, then they can give that information. But just starting by simply messaging with a shop, chatting back and forth, asking questions, making sure it's worth my time to, take off school or take off work, whatever I have to do in order to interview, is just great for the technician standpoint. So
Well,
I think it's a really cool.
I don't want to pick on your generation because that makes me sound super old then, but I think it's no surprise that students now don't feel overly comfortable just going in and filling out an application, right? Like it's something where they want to have some level of comfort prior to being engaged with the shop. And it's not just technicians. I think this is a lot of young people in general. We've been trained in a lot of ways to do everything through social media or do everything online. And so it's not as comfortable just to walk into a shop and fill out an application, right, Val? I don't want to put words into your entire generation's mouth, but give me an idea there. Like, is it something where you've seen a shift to where maybe younger people aren't as apt to go in and fill out an application?
Oh, 100%. I think stalking online is like becoming a thing. Even just for, interviewing, and, before I interview at a place, or before I want to know about a place, I go online and I search anything I want to know about it. And, you can see photos, videos, reviews, any of those things. So, to take that intimidation away and not have to walk in cold into a shop. For sure, yeah. Messaging back and forth and getting that inside look before they apply is for sure the comfort way.
Yeah, and I think reverse job posting does a really good job with that. We're very serious about not leaking that information. So when they post something, it is confidential. We do not sell lists. We do not sell any information to that has, I guess, the ability to get access to those reverse job postings. It is truly it is an anonymous thing that protects them. And the other cool part is it only lasts for 30 days, right? So when they set it up, it's not like they're going to have a profile out there forever. It will last. Their live profile lasts for 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, they can elect to renew the profile or have it expire. And so, or they can take it down even prior to that. So it gives them control over their job search. And especially for those young technicians coming out in the field, one of the very, very alarming stats that we refer to a lot is that ASE put out that I think it's 41 or 42% of techs leave the industry within their first 2 years of being in the industry. That's a big deal. That means we're not putting the right people in the right places to start with. And it's having a huge impact on not only our ability to staff all of these shops, but on placement rates. And as you look at it from a school's shoes and a school's point of view, that's an important piece of your program, making sure that when you send people out into their real life jobs, that they stick around. We've got to do a better job at getting them into the right shops. We've got to do a better job at finding the right fits for them, and not just having them go because one paid $1 more an hour than another one, but actually going because somebody's got a good mentorship program or they've got a good training program. And when they bring them in, they're going to grow them so that their career looks drastically different in 5 to 10 years than it does right now. So we feel like this reverse job posting piece, especially on the student side, gives them the best opportunity to be able to find the right fit for themselves rather than just the next shop that's going to pay them. So, and we say the same thing to shops. We want the shops finding the right fits for them as well, because if they don't, and they continue just to hire anybody that walks in the door, they're not building a good culture. They're not building a good shop. And so in order to really get these people in, support them, we've got to find the right fit for them. And reverse job posting, in my opinion, very biased opinion, does a really, really good job of that. So with that being said, I think we've covered everything for the post-secondary level on the school side. And if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the question box, or you can shoot us an email. You can talk to me directly. It's JayG at WrenchWay.com. Val, they can reach out to you with questions as well, right?
Yep, my email is Valerie, that's Valerie, at WrenchWay.com. And you guys will actually get this recording as well, and then I'll have some contact info in it too. So,
all right, well, we want to thank everybody for coming and joining us today. It's a pleasure. We appreciate everything that all of you instructors are doing out there. Keep up the good work. Keep building these programs. We desperately need these people in industry. And if there's anything we can do to help out, or if you have any insight or thoughts on the platform in general, when you go out and look at it, feel free to let us know. We love the feedback. We love to hear how we can improve or what we can do to make your lives easier. I think we had one more ask here. Is the top schools available on the mobile Android site yet? It's available mobile just through the browser. Top Schools is not actually on the WrenchWay app as of yet. With that being said, the shop talk, the videos, those are shown on the mobile app. So if you do put those videos out there, that's another way to get you exposure to your page. We don't actually have the top schools on the app itself. So it is available on Android. The WrenchWay app in general is, but it's not the top schools that's on there. It's just the shop talk video. So make sure you put that video content out there, because that's in a feed, and there's quite a few people that see that. So great question. I appreciate that. Other than that, again, thank you all for joining us today. We genuinely appreciate all the hard work that you're putting in out there. And if you've got any questions or comments, reach out to us. We'd love to help you out in any way that we can, and hope everybody has a great remainder of their week. Take care.